Monaco is actually protected as a brand, as a trademark by the government. We can't sell it unless we're registered, and we can't register it unless we have someone interested. So yeah.
Yeah, we had to continue to sell. The only things that were open was the supermarkets.
It's not because you're from Monaco that you necessarily a spoiled kids or a rich guy in finance, making money on his yacht. There's also people, entrepreneur like us, trying to do good things and put a good image of our country.
Right, you ready for it?
Let's go.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for welcoming me today in Monaco at your. This is not entirely your office, right?
No, not yet.
So could you tell me what is it that you do? Who would like to start?
So we both the co-founders of Monte Carlo Beer, which is the Monegasque local beer. We launched it in 2019, William and I. That's a good start.
Very good. Where and how does it work? Have you literally created your own beer from zero?
Yeah, we had all the authorization from Monaco to market a new beer, a new local beer, like I said. So the name is Monte Carlo Beer. We came up with a recipe with the brewer and set up the company 5 years ago and started to launch it and flood here in Monaco.
Yeah, because you can't just use the name Monte Carlo or Monaco, probably. It's protected.
No, yeah, the brand Monaco is actually protected as a brand, as a trademark by the government. So it's controls and how and who is actually using it. So we had to go through different processes to apply for the trademark, and also for the palace. We wanted to have the palace agreement on the packaging because we're using the palace on the label. So yeah, we got all the authorization before we could actually start selling the product. Yeah.
And how did you go into Monaco? Have you been living here your entire life?
Yeah, so Anthony and I, we're both born and raised here. Anthony is Monegasque. I'm what they call enfant du pays, so I was born and raised here, went to school here, my parents lived here and worked here. We've been friends for more than 20 years now. For close 20 years. We've always been entrepreneur. First, both on each on our side. Anthony stayed here in Monaco and set up his own business, and I left after studying here in southeast of France. I left to Asia, where I started my entrepreneur life, which I conducted for more than 10 years. Do you want the full story, or do we go straight into details? Okay. Well, I guess you ask Anthony maybe what about this entrepreneur journey, but we've always been in contact, even though I was 10,000 kilometers away. Anthony set up his first business here in Monaco, while I set up my first business in Asia. So we were always in contact, always texting each other, because we were the only one actually understanding what we were going through. Not many of our friends around us were an entrepreneur at that time. So we always stayed in contact, and then when Anthony had a bit more time with his business, he had 2 weeks holiday per year. He would usually come to Asia and visit me, and we'll visit Southeast Asia. Always have beers actually in Southeast Asia, in different countries of Southeast Asia. And in 2016, I think, we started to talk about setting up a business together. And because we realize how complementary we are, not only in friendship, also in business. So we start talking about starting a business together eventually. And it's in 2018 that Anthony managed to sell his business here in Monaco, joined me in Singapore, and we started a bar called Monte Carlo Boys, so MCB. The idea was to have our dream bar with cool cocktails, some local food. So we had Barbajoin, Pissaladière, Soca, which we cooked directly there in Singapore. And then we also did a few cocktails inspired by the Monaco Lifestyle. And we had another beer at that time where we were imported. And we realized the potential of actually craft beer and what it meant to people and to us, obviously. So that's how the idea started.
Yeah. Just one step back, what is it that you did in Asia? What kind of business that you said?
My first entrepreneur project was a bar in Bangkok, which was very fun, which I kept for 2 years, which we sold. And then I moved to Singapore, where I started a import distribution company of French ingredients, beverage ingredients, non-alcoholic at first. So coffee, tea, syrup, chocolate powder. So yeah, I kept this business for 8 years, and I managed to sell it to a large retail group here, back in Singapore. Yeah.
Sounds pretty good. Yeah. So a successful exit there.
Yeah, I mean, we worked hard for it.
Yeah. And well, apparently it was quite a success, but
yeah, it was great. Yeah, we grew the business quite well, and then but COVID happened, so and Singapore wasn't like back here. We didn't have any help from the government, no grants whatsoever. So yeah, we had to survive it through, which we did. Quite happy, and then yeah, because the beer project was actually growing quite fast, and frankly, I was a bit bored of Singapore. I wanted to go back here to my hometown. So yeah, we managed to sell it, and move back here.
Yeah. Well, great. And how about you? What is it that you did before?
For me, on my side, I stopped studying. I wanted to travel. I went to Australia for a few months. On the way to Australia, I stopped in Bangkok to see William. William was there already. Then I stayed, like I said, 6 months in Australia. On the way back as well, a pit stop in Asia with him. And when I came back here, I opened the first franchise of Emily's Cookies. I don't know if you're familiar with this.
Yes, I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's a brand from Nice, launched by two girls, and I negotiated with them to open the first cafe in Monaco with their name, which I did in 2013. And I ran it for 5 years. Then the idea was to sell it, join William in Singapore, and open the same type of cafe with our own twist in Singapore. Wanted to do a cafe at first, but the spot was more adapted for a bar, so which we did. So we launched Monte Carlo Boys, and we kept it until COVID hit. So it was complicated to stay open. Also, I didn't have my visa to stay longer and work in Singapore, so I had to go back and forth from Monaco and Singapore, which wasn't really sustainable long term. And so while I was there, I started to look around for brewers that could help us to set up this new beer recipe, while William was at the bar in Singapore to run the bar. And so yeah, we found this brewery in Saint Raphael. There we managed to do a recipe that we were happy with, and launched the first bottles from there.
And how does that work, coming up with the idea for a beer? What was the inspiration?
So with the inspiration, we both like the same beers. We like really light beers, easy to drink. We beer drinker, but we're not really like hard connoisseur with like high degrees beers. We're more like south of France, and with south of France was Singapore. Like that was the inspiration. It's really hot, so we didn't want something that was too heavy. Wanted again something that was light, easy to drink, accessible to everyone. Everyone could like it, even people that don't really like beer at first. So that was the main brief for the brewer. We bought different beers that we liked. We tried all together. We said this we like, this we don't like. We like this in this one, not this in this one, and they came up with 3 different recipes that we tried. We locked in one and went with this one. So that was the blonde ale that we have now. This is the first recipe that we launched. It's 4.5% of alcohol, which is light, and we call it bière de soif, like session beer in English. That's the first one we launched. And the DNA, basically the MCB DNA, is on this same brief of having light beers and easy to drink again.
Yeah. And when was the first beer ready Was that in 2019?
So yeah, the launch was in
July.
July 2019. Was in
First bottles came out
yeah.
in like beginning of July 2019. Yeah.
2019. When did you come up with the idea? Just trying to put together the timeline just for my understanding.
I think it was beginning of 2019. Wasn't it? Because the bar was we did a soft opening of the bar in March 2018. It was very successful the first year, and then as Anthony said, he couldn't get his visa in Singapore, so he was just going back and forth, which wasn't the ideal since I had the other company as well to run. And then it was Singapore is very strict about visas and people running on a tourist visa. So eventually we realized that this potential of not only craft beer but the name Monaco, people were very, very intrigued about us being from Monaco, the bar being from Monaco, and so it was like, why don't we just try to do something from our country and see where that takes us. So I guess the discussion started in 2019, and I think everything happens for a reason. So because he couldn't get his visa, then it was like, why don't you just start looking for a brewery while I stay here in Singapore and run the bar.
Yeah, it's a journey and it's a process where you go through. Yeah, and then back in Monaco, I assume. Yeah. So how did it went in the first months when the first bottle came out?
It went good. Like we from here, we had different businesses here. We know quite some people here, especially in the F&B industry, restaurant manager and everything. So we managed to go and tell. Before the launch, I already spoke with people saying, we're going to do this. What do you think? Would you be keen to support us and stock the beer for us? So a lot of people were already agreeing on this and agreed on this. So when the bottle came out, we started to distribute here and there. We had straight away a good meeting with SBM to stock the beer with them. They were again keen to stock the beer, do a trial at first for the casino, which was good. Then we spoke with Carrefour as well.
Sorry to cut you off. Just for my understanding and everyone's understanding, SMB, is that a big?
Sorry, yeah, SBM is the group that owns casino and hotels in Monaco. Main hotel.
Société des Bains de Mer.
So they own the casino, they own Hermitage, Hôtel de Paris, Café de Paris, Monte Carlo Beer, a lot of venues here. So it's big player here in Monaco. It's today it's our biggest client. So we are stocked everywhere in SBM, like mini bars, restaurant, bars, like everywhere. So that's a good client. We managed to speak with them straight away when we had the beer. They wanted to support us. So yeah, it was a good start, really good start. But like again, it was 19, and in 2020 COVID happened. So yeah, we had to change a bit the plans because we were not prepared for this.
No one was.
Yeah, I'd like to tell that story, but we produced 10,000 bottles first in July 2019, and it took us a year to sell that stock, and COVID was in between, obviously, and like Anthony said, our strategy at first, it was really into going into to food service, so hotels, cafes, and restaurants. We had no intention at first to go into supermarkets, but then again, COVID happened, so we had to think it through and say, okay, if we want to live and survive, we need to sell some bottles. So that's when we started as well, trying to approach the supermarkets, and it was actually a good strategy, because today it's 50% of our revenue is made from retail, while 50% is made from off trade.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to continue to sell. The only things that were open was the supermarket. So yeah. It took us 1 year to sell this 10,000 bottle now on a slow months. It's basically yeah.
Oh, really? That much?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, it's funny to see now 5 years later, but we're very happy to finish that stock, and now we produce around 20,000 bottles a month. So yeah.
That's a huge step.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for the supermarket, so I'm wondering, so as SBM is a big player here in the region, but also for the supermarkets, how do you land those type of clients? How do you get in touch with them to sell your beers?
We speak with the buyers, with the liquid buyers, through depends, or contact of a contact, or people that we know, or we just find a guy by going there, showing up. You go, you ask, and you start to propose the products. Yeah, it's really a step-by-step process. You really have to go see everyone, each and every one that you want to sell to. So you have to go meet them, talk with them, make them try, and convince them to stock it. It's a long process.
And depending on the supermarket brand, what do you call that? You need to have we need to reference us as a supplier. So that's, for example, Carrefour, which is, you can't get into any Carrefour like this. You need to be registered as a supplier in the region before you could. So it can take up to a year before you can get registered, before you can actually approach every single Carrefour of the region. So Carrefour, Auchan, some large brand of supermarkets are a bit. There's a lot of procedures to go through before you can actually approach one supermarket or the other.
That feels kind of like a loop, doesn't it? So you have to be a supplier to become a supplier.
Yeah, so you need to have you're right, actually you need to have some interest from one of the supermarkets that's around for in order for us to approach the head office and say, listen, we want to reference us as a supplier, we want to register as a supplier because this supermarket is it. But yeah, you're right, it's just a loop in a way that we can't sell it unless we're registered, and we can't register unless we have someone interested. So supermarket is not the easiest sell segments.
But once you're in, you have
Exactly. Yeah. Now we especially since last year we hired a salesperson that specializes in retail, and that's when actually our revenue just increased. Our retail revenue increased and balanced from the food service revenue. With I don't know how many supermarkets we have today, about 120, 100
something.
That is a lot.
So, yeah. Before he actually joined us, there was I think 20% of our revenue was from retail, and we managed to bring it up to 50%, which is good.
Huge.
Yeah.
And how does that work with selling to the supermarket? So you have a lower margin, or is it the same as when you would supply to hotels?
From 2023 onwards, Anthony and I decided, because we started with one beer, like Anthony said earlier, the blonde, which it's not here, but it's sleeved. It's a sleeved bottle. It's full white. I'm pretty sure you've seen it. Yeah. So we have the white and red, which was our signature, which is still a signature. But because we're getting more and more into supermarket, we started to be a bit not frustrated is not the word, but
bothering us.
Yeah, it was a bit bothering us in that our premium bottle would be sold in supermarkets for sure, for everyone to buy. So especially for customers like SBM, where they can sell a beer for €15, we're a bit uncomfortable. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
That you could find this exact same beer in any supermarket for €3. So from last year onwards, we decided to split the range and to create what we call a classic range, which is here, which you can find in any supermarket, and keep the sleeved bottle for hotels and restaurants. So if you really want to drink and experience the Monte Carlo, the first Monte Carlo beer, you would have to go to one of our customers. As opposed, if you just want to enjoy a nice cold Monte Carlo beer, you can go to any supermarket.
And is there a huge difference in taste then with
So the liquid is the same inside. It's just the packaging that changed. Like William said, the other one is more premium. So we kept it just for the restaurant hotels, like more the premium side, and this is more classic. So we just wanted to, and it's easier as well for us to produce. It's less cost. So we are able to give a good price to the supermarket that can give a good price to the customer as well. That we're more flexible with the prices. The premium is more work, it's more fragile, it's more time to produce, costs more. So yeah, that's why we keep it for really more high-end use.
Yeah, so to answer, we didn't actually answer your question, but to answer your question, the margin is not really different. It's just the production cost, which is slightly lower with this range, like Anthony said.
Can you give me, if you don't want to share, that's absolutely fine, of course, but can you talk me a little bit through numbers, just generally speaking? How much can you expect when you supply to such massive change, I would say? Are you, I don't know, accepting 10% of what they actually sell it for, or is it, I don't know, what kind of margins do you usually have?
It really depends. It depends of volumes, depends of chain as well. But yeah, usually in this industry, gross margin is between, it can go like 15 to 30% I'm talking about gross margin. Yeah. But again, it depends. Like we had a big contract last year for a big retail group, which we referenced our beer nationwide. So it was all over France. And they took 75,000 bottles, I think. So that they definitely had different prices than they had a different price than the smaller supermarket around here. But yeah, its margin is usually around that.
Yeah, right. That's pretty good. And for finding the right taste, have you changed the original formula, or has it developed yet? Or
from the original recipe, the blonde one is basically the same, except that we adapted the ingredient to be organic, 100% organic. And we launched after that the amber, which is 6%, a bit more character, a bit more strong for people that like stronger beers. Then we launched the non-alcoholic beer recently. We earned a medal in Frankfurt, a beer competition, so gold medal. We had the gold medal for the non-alcoholic beers, and more recently we have the IPA, so Indian Pale Ale, which is again more of a trend now. People are going to this type of beers, but we did it with our own way, with the MCB DNA, still accessible, not too strong in taste. So yeah, we have the same recipe. We basically use the same recipes from the beginning.
Not many changes on the.
No, not yet.
And just wondering, is there in non-alcoholic beer? Is it kind of the same process? Is there like a little amount of alcohol? Is there no alcohol at all in it?
In our beer we have 0.5% of alcohol. The legislation in France is up to 1.2%. Under 1.2%, you're considered with non-alcoholic. The industrial beer you can find is 0.0 something. We are 0.5. Like we're still a craft beer. You need like big facilities, big machines to be able to make the alcohol basically almost disappear. For us, it's a different process. It's different process.
How do you get it non-alcoholic then?
So you ferment it less because a beer is 70-80% water, so you dilute it more during the fermentation process. So yeah, we try. It's in order to get 0.0%, you need, like Anthony said, you need it's a huge facility and a huge investment in machine that basically remove all alcohol from the liquid, which a machine it's too expensive today, so only the big players can do it. So yeah, the process is slightly different, but the good thing about doing that process as a craft beer is that you still get the taste of the beer. It's actually quite surprising that you sometimes you think you're just having a normal beer, but because of that process that we're using, it's yeah, we have the beer taste, which is can be confusing sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I think I get it. I think I've only drank in one, maybe two non-alcoholic beers in my life. I'm not a big beer fan or beer drinker, but I really enjoyed your beers though.
Thank you.
And for your company, how did you? Well, you obviously spent quite some time into the packaging and how it all looks and the name, of course. But what is your strategy of getting this beer on the market and growing it?
Beers are more sold by kegs and pints. People tend to drink more pints than bottle of beers. So, but what we wanted is really put out the brand. Like William said earlier, we still have these two bottles, red and white, with the sleeve. So and when we talk about the beer here, the goal is to make people maybe that cannot come to Monaco still experience the Monaco lifestyle, the Monaco vibe that we can get. So yeah, I think that was the base of it.
Yeah, because if you would summarize that, what is that Monaco lifestyle?
It's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Depends who you're gonna ask.
Yeah.
I ask you.
Because for us, we've always said that we don't say it often now, but when we started, it was we're both from here, and Monaco has this image of that everyone knows, that it's very glamorous, very yachts, Formula One, money, great cars, supercars. Well, for us, we grew up here. We went to school here. Our parents work here, so there's a different lifestyle, which is still great, but it doesn't involve all those
glitters.
Sorry?
Glitters.
Yeah, glitters. Yeah. So for us, it was very important to show the other side of Monaco. That it's not because you're from Monaco that you're necessarily a spoiled kid or a rich guy in finance, making money on his yacht. There's also people, entrepreneur like us, trying to do good things and put a good image of our country. Saying that Monaco is not only this platform; it can also be a good product with still a good lifestyle. We're still going to Formula One. We still enjoy partying in Monaco, but yeah, it was important for us to just show that, to put Monaco on the map, obviously, and to show a different side of Monaco. So that's why we wanted to have something that looks good, that tastes good, but it's also affordable. We don't want to just because it's Monaco, it's going to be super expensive, and you're gonna find like gold in the liquid. This is not us. This is not who we are. So it was important for us to show basically people that's who we are, and that's how our product reflects who we are, I think.
Yeah, more from a local perspective, I would say.
Yeah.
It's entrepreneurial adventure, but it's also this friendship from William and I that really, in the end, is the DNA of this. So yeah, and we have a good marketing and communication colleague as well.
Yeah.
She's in the same room. So. And how big is your team at the moment? How many people do you work with?
20 now.
17 during winter.
No, we're 7 now.
Seven.
No, 6, 7.
Actually, yeah, 6.
6 now.
Yeah, 6.
Yeah, 6. Sorry.
We're very lucky with our team. It's actually the same team since we hired them a year and a half ago. I want to believe they all get along very well, and yeah, everyone is. We're quite lucky. Everyone is really helping each other and
really involved.
Get involved.
Love the brand. So it's cool.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, very happy and very thankful for that.
Yeah. And do you have a lot of going in a slightly different direction? But is it difficult to be in this market? Because is it regulated or?
It's difficult because it's a crowded market. There's a lot of different beers, different beer brands. There's big players with big budgets that it's impossible to compete with, and so it's hard in that sense. It's also hard, like people don't realize, but to have the beers on the shelves in Carrefour, for example, you have to go through a lot of processes in way of production, packaging, glass bottle that breaks, pallets that collapse, a lot of different things that is, that can happen, but it's the same as in every business. You always have something coming up, but people don't realize, when you now in the background working in this industry, you realize how hard it is to just be present on the shelves. Authorization and everything, like we just had to set up the company and basically just do it.
Yeah, I mean, every business has many challenges and hurdles, right? And but did you have that glasses literally exploded, or?
Yeah. In every shipment.
Yeah.
What was the reason? Did you know? Did you find out?
Third parties.
Yeah.
The problem is that you always have to use third party to deliver. We buy the glasses from one place. We ship those glasses to the printing company that will print the label and label them. So usually in between those transactions, there's always things that happen, badly packed, driving too fast, and it's never anyone's fault. It's always us paying the
bill.
Yeah. So yeah, there's always something, but it's a fun business to be in. I mean, we, like I like to say, we don't sell vacuum cleaners. We sell beers with my best friend and a great team. So no, at the end of the day, it's worth it. Like you said, any business has its own issue, has own challenges. But yeah, no, very very happy with this. Even though it's not always easy. Yeah.
Do you have any tips for anyone looking to become a competitor of yours?
Don't do it.
And what is next for you guys, for the brand?
What is next?
There's
different projects on the way.
What can you share with us?
So in Monaco, you have this competition for projects and
it's innovation.
Yeah, innovation projects.
Yeah, innovation. It's organized by the GCE, the Jeune Chambre Économique. I don't know if you're familiar with.
Heard about it. So we won the first prize. The project is to launch an app that will help restaurateurs and suppliers to centralize all the orders. So we know from experience, as we've been for more than 10 years in the F&B industry, that communication between restaurant, bars and their suppliers is not always easy. There's a lot of orders coming back and forth, a lot of different people you're going to speak to. The goal with this app is to really centralize all your orders on the same app to your suppliers.
For the brand itself, do you have any big plans or vision for where you want to be in a couple of years, or is it just continue developing, see where it takes us?
We've always wanted. We know with a brand like Monaco and the product that we have, we know the potential of exporting the brand. We've actually started since last year to sell MCB abroad. So in Europe, but also in Asia. So we sold in Japan, Hong Kong, and then in Europe, UK,
Europe,
Italy, Luxembourg, Holland. So a few other countries. So we want to keep going that way. We want to keep pushing to get the beer sold in different countries, different continents. That's something that we really want to push for. And maybe as well launch new ranges as well of beer. So yeah, the plan is to keep growing and I think, like you said, see where that takes us. Yeah.
Just on a great path with friendship and great people around you. Well, thank you so much. I think we've covered a lot. And very much for welcoming me. Thank you very much. Went in the wrong direction there. But thank you very much for welcoming me and speaking with me. And I can't wait to see where this is going to lead to.
Yeah. we'll let you know.
Let me know. All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.